Morning, everybody, afternoon, evening, whenever you're choosing to do this practice. Please take your supports. As you know, my preference is usually those bricks if you have them. And come and cross your legs the unhabitual way for yourself today. Cup your fingertips alongside you. Withdraw the buttock flesh. If needs be, release the back thighs out to soften the groins a little more. Bring your palms into Atmanjali Mudra. Close your eyes. Give yourself a moment to settle. To feel the grounding, the spread of the buttocks into the earth, into that support that you've taken. Allowing the groins to truly soften, release, and let go. That from surrendering to gravity, allowing a soft, rebounding action, releasing into lightness, lift, and length. And in that easing upwards, release your shoulders to gravity. Soften the inner elbows. Soften the inner walls of the throat so that the neck, the head can ease up off the top of the shoulders. The base of the skull can ease up off the top of the neck spine. As if the brain just hovering, floating above the support of this body. Letting the breath settle. Becoming smooth and soft, no matter how long or short it is. Allowing a sense of physiological, mental settling. Becoming outwardly stable and still. Inwardly stable, still, and quiet. Bow your head to your heart, making your own inner acknowledgements. And for today, setting up your sankalpa, your intention, to mainly be aware of your breath, the flow of the breath, and the quality of the breath. Place the back of your hands onto your inner knees. Raise your head. Open your eyes. Take your chair. Taking your chair up against the wall, backrest up against the wall, to come for a very high Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take your hands so the fingers flow off the edge of the chair. So the heel of the palm onto the seat of the chair. This allows that external rotation of the inner upper arm, allows the shoulders space to release down the back body. And step back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Ensure that the heels root into the floor, that the heels become the heavy part of the feet, and the balls of the feet and the toes light. Root the heels down and lift the legs. Lift the ankles, the shins, the thighs, the knees, all the way deep into the hip joint. Hit the head of the shin bone back. Hit the lower front thigh back. Hit the upper front thigh back. as if you're taking the bones of the legs back more and more. And remember, the thigh bone moves into the hip socket. So move the head of the thigh bone back to allow the whole of the trunk to ease forwards towards the hands. Remember in the last class, the whole attention on the thoracic diaphragm. Can you bring your awareness back there and allow that thoracic diaphragm to open? Stay. If for any reason you need to come down and rest, do so. But if possible, stay for a while. This is an easier dog stretch than being on the floor, not so much pressure on the shoulders. Settle the shoulders into their joint and open your armpits. Back of the neck long and soft, and breathe into that thoracic diaphragm. So much focus was on it in the last class. So now there's an inner awareness to that vast space. Let the whole of the thoracic diaphragm open upwards, circumferentially, to the sides, from the middle to the back, from the middle to the front. Breathe into the lower rib band. Just half a minute more. And then from there, come up, walk forwards. I'm standing up for a moment. Relax the shoulders. Even if needs be, roll the shoulders a bit. Roll the shoulders down the back. Come stand, feet together in Tadasana. Just breathe. From there, move the chair. If the chair is better for you to do Adho Mukha Svanasana, please come back and repeat it. Otherwise, we're going to repeat Adho Mukha Svanasana once more, taking a support, be it a brick, be it a folded blanket. Spread your hands so the thumb and the index finger move to the wall, and from there, have your feet hip width and release your head to the support. Press the thumb and the index finger deep into the wall. So once more, the inner upper arms can externally rotate. Move the shoulders into their joint. Pump open your armpits and release the crown of the head to that support. Can you make the heels feel heavy? Lift the shins, lift the knees, the thighs. Move the head of the shin bone back. Move the lower, upper, front thigh strongly back. Take the bones of the legs back. And let the trunk ease towards the collarbones. Breathe into the thoracic diaphragm. Have a sense of ease, of being able to stay in the pose. Breathing, opening the thoracic diaphragm circumferentially. If you need to come down for a rest, do so. When you feel rested, once more coming up. But hold for a while. Build up the stamina of the mind, the physical body, the emotional center. And from there, release, come down. Everybody, whether you've been on the chair or a normal dog stretch as you were, come and be in Adho Mukha Virasana. Rest your arms And you can even rest your palms one on top of the other. Rest your forehead onto your hands. Relax your shoulders. Release the buttocks back. Please, for those of you that have knee issues, take your blanket, fold your blanket, and put it behind the back of the knee joint so that the knees remain open. If you need to be higher, take your bricks, take your foams, and sit on your bricks, your foams. So there's a sense of allowing the buttocks, the groins to completely let go. If you're hovering with the buttocks way into the sky, then rather take Adho Mukha Virasana on your chair for today. Slide back and coming forwards, create a support, even if it's this high. Let the head rest, let the arms rest. Whatever way Adho Mukha Virasana feels a complete letting go. Breathe. And then coming up, move your chair, take your blankets, take 2 foams. If you don't have foams, just take more blankets. I'm just going to take one of the blankets and on its narrow way, roll it up so that you create a roll. A variation of Anantasana. So you're going to come and lie on the left side, taking this thoracic diaphragm onto the apex of that roll. Stretch your legs away from you and come and lie completely on your side. Head passive, resting down. So it might be a little uncomfortable initially, but do stay. It allows this area of these side ribs to open. So bringing your right arm up and over, bend your left elbow, grip your right wrist. Now, press into your feet, especially your right foot. Pull with your left hand a little more, the right arm up and over. Create a stretch in those right side ribs, pulling your outer right hip to your right heel, drawing your right side ribs to your right wrist. Head passive, quiet. Breathe into these right side ribs, opening, spreading them upwards, outwards. And as you can feel, the staying is what allows more and more internal opening to come. Some of the breaths might be longer, some shorter. Every now and then, have a long, deep inhalation so that you can have a sharper, more forceful exhalation to go further. And then bending your legs, bring your hand forward, come sitting up and go to the other side. I'm just going to slide this way so I don't turn my back to you. And now, right side ribs, as I said, that lower rib cage wants to be on that roll, stretching your legs away from you. Head resting on your right upper arm. With your right hand, grip your right wrist. Now, press into your heels, especially your left one. Right from your left hip, draw through the heels. Right from your left lower side ribs, extend to your left hand as your right hand pulls it away more and more. Breathe into those left side ribs. Let that area open upwards, outwards. And as you breathe, check in. Is there a tendency to breathe more into the lower back ribs or the lower front ribs? Can you center that onto the side seam? So the front and the back lower ribs get equal opportunity to spread and open. And then release, bend up your legs and come sitting up. Supta Baddha Konasana. Please, for those of you that do have groin issues, take a support, have your phones, have your bricks if needs be. Slide close to the wall. So the whole of the sole of the foot connects, but the toes roll out. So this area is going to press into the wall. So slide yourself as close to the wall as you possibly can, getting the 4 points of the soles of the foot to connect, and lengthen your upper buttocks, drawing your upper buttocks to your heels. Come as close as you possibly can. As I said, if you need a support, please take it on the outer thigh so these groins can soften. Take your arms wide to the side. Roll your shoulders down to the floor. Broaden your collarbones and let them cascade over the shoulders. So remember the last class, how we had that sense of energy flowing broadly from the pubis through the navel, allowing this thoracic diaphragm to feel it's becoming spacious towards the collarbones. So the same energy sense. Back of the neck long and soft. Close your eyes. Supta Baddha Konasana. Give yourself a moment to settle, just like you did in Swastikasana at the beginning of your practice. Allow the whole of the back body to surrender to gravity, right from the back of the skull, through the shoulders, shoulder blades, buttocks, outer feet. And as you release your inner knees away from you, allowing them to roll out and down, let the buttock bones settle into the body without pushing them. Let them settle in to soften the groins. As you breathe in, bring your awareness to the whole of your trunk. Feel the broadness internally of this pose, right from the pelvic diaphragm, internal of the hips, through the thoracic diaphragm, through the vocal diaphragm, internal behind the collarbones. Breathe into that broadness. And maintaining that vast inner space. Breathe out. Softening the abdomen back, keeping that width, that inner spaciousness on the exhalation.
allowing a sense of letting the whole body spread, be wider than the arms, wider than the knees. Complete the breath you're on. Let the breath settle to normal. Take your hands to support your outer thighs and draw your knees up so that the groins remain soft and passive. Stay there for a moment. Roll over to the side and come sitting up. From here, you're going to take 3 foams, sitting them one above the other. If you don't have foams and you have blankets, fold your blankets so that they become almost like the size of the foams. If you have, preferably if you have 3, put them one on top of the other so that you have a support like this for Bishmacharyasana. Have a brick handy. So today, you're going to cross the legs in Swastikasana. This support of either the blankets or the foam is going to go under the back ribs and softening these inner groins. Allow yourself to come up and over like you did earlier on in the class that we did earlier on in the week. Allow the throat to open upwards, outwards, without compressing. The voice should sound exactly as it does in normal talking. And support your head. Doesn't have to be maximum back. Soften the inner groins. Like Baddha Konasana, let the knees roll away, out and down. And just settle for a moment. Feel how the hips become heavy, settling down. How the back ribs become light as the whole of the abdominal cavity rests back into the back body from front to back. So the thoracic cavity moves up from the back to the front. So this softening, opening thoracic diaphragm has space to lift and melt with the collarbones over the shoulders. If it's possible, take the arms over the head, reach into the fingertips for a moment and fold your elbows, opening your armpits to allow the forearms to rest down. Breathe in, allowing the lower front ribs to spread and flow to the collarbones, melting over into that space. Think of the inhalation now, focusing. Your sankalp, your intention for the class is the breath. So breathing in, allowing that thoracic diaphragm to ease to the collarbones melting, softening into space. Abdomen remains broadly back, chest open. Complete the breath you're on. Stretch your arms away from you. Lift your legs, cross your legs the other way. And fold your arms the other way. Easing through the inner elbows. Draw your lower front ribs towards your collarbones, towards your elbows. Soften the thoracic diaphragm. Soften the abdomen back as you breathe out. Keeping the abdomen passive, deep. Breathe in from that front thoracic diaphragm over the collarbones. Breathe out, softening the abdomen back. Extend your arms away from you. Bring your arms down to the side of the trunk. Draw your legs up. Roll to the side off the support and just lie down. Tuck your knees towards your chest if you need to, so that you can release the lower back. You've been in a deep back bend. Stay for a while and then come sitting up. Adho Mukha Virasana. Remember earlier on, I said to you, use whatever prop you need. If you need to be in a chair that you need to sit that high up, please do. So observe, I'm going to start by demonstrating with the chair, just for those of you that might need it. So you're sitting back in the chair, and now take your arms over your head, extending forwards, so that you draw the upper buttocks back. You dig the buttock bones into your support as you ease the whole of the trunk forwards. So the whole of the rib cage can flow forward as the abdomen rests back, releasing the back body from any tension. So that's your highest position. The next one, for those of you that might go lower, as I said, if you have knee issues, blanket behind the back of the knees. Otherwise, bring a support for your head for today, be it a brick, one of the foams, and extend the arms away from you. Adho Mukha Virasana. Ease the upper buttocks back and settle your buttock bones down. Bring your awareness to the whole of the thoracic diaphragm and let it ease forward to your fingertips as you relax your shoulders. And let the whole of the thoracic diaphragm breathe itself open, sides to the side. From the middle, opening the back ribs. From the middle, opening to the front ribs. So it's like you're inflating gently a balloon from the middle point in the lower front ribs, in that thoracic diaphragm. And let that balloon, with the inhalation, inflate equally, simultaneously, in every direction. Till you come to the fullness of your breath, pause, and then slowly, gradually, smoothly deflate that balloon until you come to the very end of your exhalation. Pause. And continue in that manner to your capacity. Opening into that inner spaciousness around the thoracic diaphragm. And then coming up, take yourself just slightly to the side with your support. Those of you on the chair can just move your hands slightly to the side, so that you, as you breathe out, softening the abdomen back, turn it from left to right. So breathe into the vast openness of that thoracic diaphragm,
Breathe out, keeping that inner space. Turn your abdomen left to right. Come back to center and go to the left. Opening equally left, right, front, back ribs. To receive this breath, this life force. And then coming up. Take your chair and come and sit on something, be it your brick, be it two foams, or today, whatever it might be. Have your chair in front of you. I'm going to take, for example, my two bricks and come and sit in swastika sun, folding forwards. And lengthen that lower front rib area as best to your capacity as you can. Once more, giving internal space for the whole of this rib cage. If the seat of the chair is too low, turn the chair around. Just yourself here, so that you feel you give equal space to the front and the back lower ribs. And breathe. Feel how intuitively every now and then there's a need to have a deeper, longer, fuller ujjayi inhalation, a pause, absorbing, soaking that life force. And then an equally long, slow exhalation. And a pause at the end of the exhalation. Sense of complete exhilaration in the emptiness as you rest, surrender. Come up, cross your legs the other way, fold your arms the other way, and once more, going forwards to whatever position works best for you. The backrest, the seat of the chair, your buttocks grounded. Rest in the awareness of the breath. The mind to surrender to the breath. The breath to become mindful. And from there, come sitting up. Move your chair, unless your back is worrying you, then you can always put your calves, as you know, onto the seat of the chair. Take a blanket and fold your blanket. I'm going to fold it this way so that you can see. Make the blanket really long and narrow so that it's going to be supporting your spine. If possible, even internal of your shoulder blades. And then take a support. If you don't have a foam, take your other blanket and fold it up for a fold and put that support underneath the first blanket so that you have a slightly raised area for your head. And come and place yourself sitting in front of this blanket so that your tailbone is right up against the blanket. Rest down onto your elbows
Lift your buttock flesh and shift your buttocks away so that you'll have a little space between the tailbone and that spine blanket. And then lay yourself centrally along that blanket. Legs are bent still. If needs be, lift the buttocks. Pull your sticky mat away from you. Feel as if you're almost going to slide your sternum towards that support where your head is resting. Legs are still bent. Roll your shoulders down your back and scrub your shoulder blades underneath you, like you're going to squeeze that blanket. And then check that this support is behind the back of your head. So the slope of the blanket is supporting your back neck. From there, take the arms to the side, at least 45, 50 degrees away from you. Bring your knees, your feet together now. Stretch your left leg away from you. Pull into your left heel. Stretch your right leg away from you. Pull into your right heel so that you encourage once more that length of the upper buttocks. Let go your legs. If needs be, separate your feet a little more. Let the abdomen deeply surrender back. The spine is supported to lift the back chest from the back to the front. Abdomen, navel, resting back. Shoulders releasing over the edge of that support so the collarbones spread and open. Breathe out completely and surrender yourself into the whole of the support from the heels, the calves, the thighs, the buttocks, the spine-wise support on your blanket, the back of the head, the arms. Let the inhalation just occur as the cycle of breath takes place. Bring your awareness to the exhalation. And with each exhalation, soften and surrender the whole of this physical body into the earth. And pause at the end of the out-breath. Rest. Let go there. Surrendering to Mother Earth. Let the in-breath just take place when it needs to. It's instinctive, it's intuitive, it will come. Let the exhalation be long, slow, smooth, and pause. With the exhalation, surrendering yourself into Mother Earth. Feel how she rises up to meet, support, and hold you. Trusting in that support. Let go completely. Now keeping your eyes closed, just as you focus on the exhalation to allow you to surrender and relax. Now focus on the inhalation, making it full and deep. To bring your awareness back into your body, into the space of the room, where you practiced. And at the exhalation, just be deep, full, focused inhale, pause. And then just sigh, surrender the exhale. Roll your legs towards each other. One by one, draw up your legs, bend your elbows and put your palms on your abdomen. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your palms as you breathe in, as you breathe out. Extend your right arm up and over your head, rolling onto the right. Let your head melt onto your upper arm. Press down with your left hand and curl your spine to come sitting in Sukhasana. The palms in Atmanjali Mudra. From the base of the pose, resting into the support of the earth. Release your trunk, your spine into lightness and length. Feel the ease of the breath as it flows in and out. Totally unconditional. Normal breath. Namaste.